where are you going in New York? And I said, to my parents' apartment. And he said, great, come with us. I've never been on a private plane.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've never been on a private plane like this. It was an MD-80. It was like an airliner
Right.
that was a private plane.
Wow.
And I get on this thing, I'm like in a couch like this. I said, so how'd you get started? And he told me his whole life story. And he said, and the guy who helped me out said, you got to promise someday you'll help a young guy like I'm doing for you. He said, so what's this thing that you're doing? And I start telling him. He said, I'd invest in that. Tell me a little bit more. And I said, well, we already have investors. And he said, yeah, well, if it doesn't work out, call me. Next day, in the morning, I go over to a friend of mine's house, and her dad is a famous entertainer. And I said, do you know this guy named Steve Wynn? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, he offered to invest in my company. He said, if Steve Wynn offered to invest in your company, you take the money. I'm like, why? He goes, he's going to be the most successful entrepreneur in the history of Las Vegas.